Welcome back. I'm live. Um, I just made a video about a little bit of my story about how I went vegetarian and eventually vegan and then alkaline, whatever you want to call it, bioelectric food, natural food, real food is what I'm eating now. Real food only. If you don't understand what that means, go check out videos from Dr. Sebi. He is no longer living, unfortunately, but he has a lot of videos. There are a lot of videos of him, and they will probably blow your mind because you're probably unfamiliar completely with the truth. Sadly, that's, what I keep finding out is that I was misled and lied to about almost every single detail about reality. So I just saw a video about, are we in a simulation? And I think yes, but not in the way that that sounds. We are in someone else's simulated. There, we're in the reality that the people before us decided that we would be in, kind of like the Matrix, but not so sci-fi because it's real. Um, but anyway, what do you eat once you go alkaline? What's the alkaline diet? Because every time I search different alkaline foods, is this food alkaline or not? I get conflicting information. There's a ton of BS out there. There's a ton of lies. And I'm sure it's just marketing for the sake of selling their healthy food that isn't really healthy. So, of course, as a business person, I understand the people that the whole point of a business is to make money. The whole point of a food company is to sell food or food. I call it food with air quotes because it's not natural. It's not what God put for us to eat. I guess some people would say that. I don't usually word it that way, but that's how I'm thinking of it right now. Um, it's hard to understand how so watch Dr. Sabi's videos. I'm not going to go hours and hours into that. I might in the future if I can fully understand it myself. Then I would love to make videos about it. But what am I eating now that I recently shifted over from? I've probably been vegan for over a year. I've been vegetarian for probably 10 years, 9 years or something like that. Uh, with, and then let's see, probably about a year vegan, but that wasn't really doing it for me because I was still eating wheat. So I thought it was the dairy that was making me, whatever. Well, I'm not going to, there's more than one health problem that these diets could address or cure or solve or whatever you want to look at it. But if your body's in the right operating condition, you'll automatically be healthy. Like once I adjusted, I could feel the benefits immediately. Although I'm not my exact ideal condition right now, but I'm coming off of lower condition, so I can feel, and that's what I'm going towards. So I'm always trying to pinpoint what foods are making me feel good and what foods do I feel like garbage after, and I'm just eating it because the person next to me is eating it. That's not a good reason anymore. Maybe it was a good reason when I was 5 years old because I don't know what's going on. But now I'm an adult. I can think and I can form my own reality, and I can also study by myself and not just believe what the government told me to believe, and what the farm and companies want me to believe. Doesn't that make sense? So now I'm finding out for myself. So here's what I'm eating. And if you have suggestions for other alkaline diet ideas, comment them below, please. But I find a lot of conflicting info on the internet about what's alkaline and what isn't. Don't believe it. I'm the only one I'm believing until I have evidence or my own laboratory is Dr. Sebi's list of approved, well, of foods that he tested, and he tested with all kinds of people and then decided because some were on the list and he took off the list, like some certain things like cilantro or almonds or something like used to be on there and now aren't. So I'm doing super strict because I like the feeling of energy in my body, or having energy feels better. You know what I mean? I'm not wanting the biggest muscles. I want the biggest energy. If I had to choose one. Um, so so there's a lot of BS that I've been looking up this stuff, although I haven't been strictly eating that. I've known about it for a few years, and I've been consistently eating, adding those alkaline foods until felt like I could stop eating wheat and made up food that doesn't exist in nature, that we created in a lab and then told people was food, and then it only takes one generation to die, and then their children are already brainwashed and they don't even remember what was natural in the first place. So it only takes one or two generations to totally control people. You can notice that by your third eye being open. But like actually, but then what? Then just I'm not just complaining about the agriculture, and that's not my business. I'm not eating it. So I don't need to complain or rant about it. I'm essentially, I'm not even, don't even have to boycott it because I'm already essentially doing that by taking care of myself. So you don't even need to worry about the unhealthy stuff if you just focus on the healthy stuff. So let's shift gears and talk about what I'm eating now. And I'm not an expert yet, but I'm just trying to get like all day, every day to be able to not eating wheat is really challenge. And then if you're gluten free, then they try to just pump you full of rice, which is garbage created in a lab, and uh, rice and what else? Corn. And corn is most people know that corn is not good for you, but they eat it anyway because like people think it's a vegetable. Oh my god. It is not a vegetable. It is starch, just in case. I'm not trying to be condescending. I'm just trying to this whole concept, this whole topic is a taboo in some weird way, not because of me. So I'm just trying to put it out there. If you don't like it right away, look it up, or don't believe it. I don't know, but it's not, there's nothing, It's not on me for whatever you're eating. It's not my responsibility. I'm just trying to like encourage this type of paradigm to that we are made of energy, and the we need energy, not protein. We need energy, not energy typed on the side of an aluminum can. We need to be able to separate. That's marketing, and I do marketing, so I understand it. I know, and branding. That's what I like to do. But I'm not doing unhealthy stuff. But these unhealthy people, they or the companies, they just slap a label that says it's healthy, and they expect you to believe it. And as long as they don't get sued, because it's almost impossible to prove, like, the way that the law and the science is and the industry is built up, they kind of control it. So it would be hard to sue them for saying energy on an energy drink. That's not really energy. That's the opposite of energy. Because if it's not alkaline, it's not electric. It's not energy. It's whatever the opposite of energy is, and it's just gonna clog you. Like we're made up of wiring. Like our veins and our nerves are all strings connected. They connect they connect down like a chain, and they pass the information and the nutrients and everything all around the body. And if we start clogging it with stuff, oh boy. I'm getting more into, I want to strictly talk about the food in this video and not about the philosophy. Although I can't help it, because that's what all I usually talk about is philosophy. So it's going to be added into it no matter what. I can't help it. It's who I am. And it's the whole point of this channel. So to begin with, um, let me start listing foods to give you a good idea. Breakfast. Let's start with breakfast. Spelt waffles have been my go-to. Oh man, I want some right now. Spelt waffles with spelt flour. If you've never heard of spelt, no one has, which is crazy because it's real. It's the natural grain, one of the only ones that exist. And wheat is basically some kind of hybrid ripoff of spelt, not the other way around. And if you look at the label on spelt, it'll say spelt contains wheat. Oh my God, don't get me started on that. That's total, I don't know that what legal loophole that they have to write that on there, but that's not a loophole. That's not what I meant. But um, it's so weird how the food industry works. Remember, it's an industry. It's not, they're not making money off of you eating herbs that naturally grow. So that's not in their business model. The alkaline diet is not in the business model of these companies. So if people are trashing it or something, they're purposefully doing that. Anyone that knows what's going on scientifically should be able to understand what Dr. Sebi was teaching. So spelt flour and quinoa is another, and amaranth. Those are about the only grains that are even real that you can eat. Maybe kamut. Maybe kamut, I think, is a real authentic grain and not a invention by humans. So Any of those flour, if you can find any of those different types of flour, Spelt is cheap at the right places and it's super expensive everywhere else. But I found it, I don't know where you live. If I don't know what stores there are where you live. There's this weird chain that's not really a major chain around called Marks, and they have Spelt for like $2 for a bag of it, Spelt flour. Ding, 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 ding. We've been using that for so many things, and it doesn't make me feel gross. Doesn't give me that nasty feeling that, like, when I eat acidic food or wheat or starch, like I feel like